Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Williams, and this is part 2 from the last video. Now, to recap, this was me venting about my feelings in terms of Season 6, and initially I wanted to do 3 videos, but I wanted to crunch it down to 2, but because of the timing of last video, it's now back to 3. So, here we go. We left off of sublimation, and granted, her superpowers are just used, or let's use the word useful, for nobility, because literally her powers give her the ability to make others be the better versions of themselves. And who wouldn't like that? Legit, answer the question. Who legit would not want that? Want to better themselves for not only for them personally, but for the people around them. But anyways, let's move on to our next one, which is Where Papa's. Now, to be fairly honest, let me rephrase that. I thought the episode was gonna revolve around two dads basically duking it out. That's literally what I thought. I was wrong, and it involved a villain. It involved our Kuma of the episode. And before I even continue, I just want to say something. The villain, Ringmaster, I have firm confirmation is just intoxicated, or, well, actually, let me rephrase it. The villain of the episode was intoxicated when she was akumatized, for the record, and I wouldn't say it's sort of a liable villain, and I say that mainly because it looked like she was drunk. And some people can say, like, she had all these pent-up feelings that she wasn't understood or something along those lines, and which I understand. But she was drunk or tipsy, according to what I could have seen, with her cheeks turning red as she is listening to the argument, as well as the whatever she's eating, whatever has been put on one of those things. But anyways, that's enough about that. And story-wise, I can only give it a meh. And the reason I only give it a meh is because of the fact that, 1, Adrian was useless. 2, I don't see any significance within the episode itself. And then 3rd, it was completely pointless to even have the wife in the first place. I mean, what could have been better is that the wife or grandmother on the other side followed her husband's strict antics, as it was displayed early on with the episode. It could have been better with that, and we would have had 2 akumatized villains in that episode, and just have both of them just duke it out here and there. But I guess not, and we're just gonna have to leave it with that. So, that's Ringmaster, or Where Papa's as the official title. To be honest, I don't know if the name Ringmaster is appropriate, especially for a villain like her. Not saying it's bad, I'm saying it's not fitting, because her superpower involves making things upon reality by literally taking a thing out of her wrist, saying a command or something, throw it at the direction, and then bam, it does what it does. That would have been useful to literally take Ladybug's Miraculous or something along those lines. That would have been useful, but I guess not. And they really wanted Ladybug to have more screen time. So, let's move on to the next episode. And, the one that I can remember off the top of my head, I'm not very well at memorizing things, because I know we went over Illustrator, Sublimation, and What's your name? Ringmaster. Those are the first 3, and I'm pretty sure there were 5 in total that we had. I'm not entirely sure. But we're going to have to move on. We're going to have to move on with the final one as of right now. And is the only one that I can think of prior. And I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But the one I wanted to talk about the most, and I really have the most feelings for, is Daddy Cop, as the episode addresses. Now, the acclimatized version, I was looking back on it. The original name for him was Roger Cop, and somehow his new name is Daddy Cop. To be honest, I'm not fighting against it, but that's another thing. The thing is, his acclimatization wasn't justified. I'm saying here, if the video, let me rephrase that. If the episode wasn't enough, what is? Because, let me explain. So, literally, within the episode, like, Sabrina is basically lonely at this point. And with Chloe gone, she basically has no friends until Zoe shows up and basically tries to be her friend, sort of. But yeah, long story short, there's a communication error. Sabrina shows up to Marinette's house and Marinette thought Adrian was coming. And when it wasn't Adrian, she basically turned her down. Now, this is the part where I want to get at, because after that encounter between Sabrina and Marinette, where Marinette turned Sabrina down, and the fact that she became so sad and so lonely that she couldn't find a genuine friend, she gets akumatized, or has a moment where she becomes akumatized, but then breaks out of it. And this is the part, because before she got into akumatized, or in that moment to be akumatized, her dad was going to pick her up because she called him beforehand. This is where I call bogus, and Daddy Cop was not justified to be akumatized in the first place. Because he was just driving. He turned the corner, drove, somehow the Akuma was flying in its path, and then hits the car. And then he gets akumatized. That's what I'm the most riled up about in that entire episode. There's that and one other thing, but I'll get to that later. Because he was just going to pick up his daughter, and now is akumatized. I could not sense any form of negative emotion whatsoever, other than a proud father just going to her own daughter, who is in need because she's lonely, and gets akumatized for it. I feel like you could have made that episode better. And before we get into the last part of the thing, I just want to highlight what could have been better. And that is actually going through with Sabrina being akumatized. And because of that communication error, she lashes out on Zoe, who is terrified, and then Zoe gets akumatized right then and there, right when Sabrina shows up to the house, be like, "You all wronged me, and I'm gonna get you," or some shenanigans like that. It's not exactly in those lines, but it's kind of in the same direction, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, the entire gimmick of that in Akumas of that week is literally a wild goose chase between Sabrina, who is deeply hurt of being left out, lonely, and betrayed. I don't want to use the word betrayed because it's a communication error, and I feel like it doesn't fit right with betrayal or something along those lines. But that's for you to determine. And yeah, that's literally the entire gimmick. To be honest, I think it would have been better. But we're just going to have to drop it for now because, yeah, no, I don't think we're going to do anything further from that. So those were the villains. And real quick, I'd like to say something. My overall thought so far in terms of season 6, it could have been better. Like, episode-wise, it could have been better, and story-wise, it also could have been better. Because I don't, oh my God. I don't know what to feel. It's like, I don't know what to feel anymore at this point, because, oh my goodness. Well, granted, there's not really much else to say in terms of the episodes. I'm going to just leave you guys with this. I'm going to stick around for season 6. And the reason is because, one, I'm kind of invested into the story and I want to see how it goes. And then second of all, I just legit want to see what happens. And granted, I've kind of grown up with it. I say kind of because I only did it for so long, but that's all I had, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to see you soon.